What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video I am here to kind of tag along to a video that I saw. I think it's now become a tag video. It is 20 best products from 20 indie brands in 20 minutes. Now this twist was added on to just normal brands by AmyLovesMakeup. I'm gonna link her video down below. Just like her, I am an avid shopper of indie brands. I honestly prefer indie brands to mainstream brands. So all of the products that I have here that I'm going to be talking about are all from indie brands. Some are from a variety of purchasing. So you got your very small indie brands, and then you have your very luxury indie brands. So yeah, let's just get into it. I'm going to kind of start off with the products that have the least amount of things in a category and then go up, leaving last my palettes, because of course I have the most palettes in this video. I have two lip products that I want to talk about, and the first lip product that I think is very good is the Nabla Cosmetics liquid lipstick in Narcotic. This is one of my go-to liquid lipsticks when I want anything that is a really dark blue. I go for this. It's an automatic thought process. I really love this blue. It's a really dark blue, very nice. Highly recommend it. Very thin formula, dries down, opaque, and very comfortable on my lips. The second liquid lipstick that I want to talk about is from Give Me Glow, and it is a very unique shade. It's from Give Me Glow, and it's in the shade Whiskey and Honey. It is a brown, but it's a lighter brown, and it's a yellow toned brown. I really enjoy this liquid lipstick. I think it's a really nice play on nudes. For those who predominantly stick to nudes, I think you should really look for different and unique nudes to bring variety into your collection. Next, I have another indie brand, and it is from Chris Anna Cosmetics. This is a brow pomade. This is the only brow pomade that I actually have in my collection. I've had it for a decent amount of time, and I have now hit pan twice in this brow pomade. I love this brow pomade. I think it does a very good job. This is my second brow pomade that I've ever had. I think it does a good enough job. I don't feel the need to get any really expensive one. I'm happy with this. And if you're wondering what shade I have it in medium brown. Next I have, I believe, their form of flakes, and it's from Enchanted Lustre, and this is in the shade Hyper Prism. It's a really nice product. It can be messy, so do keep that in mind, but it's in like this pot, if you will. And then I just get a little bit on my hand, and I'll swatch it for you guys so you guys can see. I didn't get that much, so don't mind the opacity, but it's a very pretty duochrome like flake, and it's like a orange to red, and there's some pink in there as well. I really love this flake formula. I already have another one on its way to me. Next, we're gonna go into the cheek products. The first cheek product that I want to talk about is from JD Glow Cosmetics. This is their highlighter in Chaos. I know a lot of people with lighter complexions really rave about this highlighter, but I love it, and I am clearly darker complexion. It has like a white base, if you will, but it has a wicked strong purple pink duochrome to it, and I think it just works really nicely on my skin. I have definitely gotten a decent amount of wear of this baby, and I would love to hit pan if at all possible. Next highlighter I have is from Dose of Colors. It is the collaboration with Desi and Katie in Chasing the Sun. This highlighter is insane. It is a low-key basic, like bronzy coppery. I think it's more bronze than coppery, but it is so pretty, and on my cheeks it just really brightens up that area. I loved this highlighter, and I can't wait, honestly, to get back to it. I did have to force myself to put it down though, so that tells you I really love that highlighter. Next is a bronzer, and it is from Marina Butte Cosmetics, or maybe just Butte, and it's in the shade Chocolate. I love this. It's actually a blush, but I use it as a bronzer. It's darker than my complexion, and it has like a sheen going through it. It's really glitter, but once you once you blend it out on your complexion, it's going to be more of a sheen to it. And I really like this bronzer. It's actually next on my chopping block to hit pan in. So I can't wait till I start putting on makeup so I can actually start really digging into that bronzer again. Next is something that you knew it had to be on my list, and it's from ColourPop. It is my bronzer in bits and pieces. This is the bronzer that started my love of hitting pan in bronzers. I already have a backup because I was scared that they were going to discontinue this. I really love this product, and yeah, there's nothing else to say. I love that product. Next is two face palettes, and the first one is from Juvia's Place, and it is my Saharan Blush 1. I love this blush palette. I really love this formula. I love the pigmentation. I love the colors that they chose. In this palette, you get not only 2 highlighters, you get 3 blushes, and you get a darker blush that I can use as a bronzer. So this is honestly a full around cheek product and blush palette for me. I can use every last shade on my face, and I truly do enjoy this blush palette, and I would highly recommend it for somebody trying to get like their first blush palette or their only blush palette in their collection. If you're my if you're my complexion, I would highly recommend this blush palette. Last cheek product that I want to recommend is another blush palette, and it is from Beauty Bakery. It's Beauty Bakery, and it is their Cotton Candy Champagne Blush Lighter Palette. I love this blush palette. It is only a blush palette. You can't really use these anywhere else. None of them, maybe this one I can use as a highlighter. I actually haven't tried, but these are beautiful, beautiful blushes. I at one point was using this non-stop to dupe out the Cover FX duos in the the purpley one. This was like the shimmery blush that I would put on top of a matte blush that I had. So I really, really love these. They're a really good formula, and I would highly recommend it for anybody else who is really into sheeny or shimmery blushes. This is a beautiful, beautiful formula. Now, all the other products that I have left are all going to be eyeshadow palettes. Anything that I have, I will have linked down below if I've done a review on it or a video. First I have on top is from Lime Crime. It is the Venus XL2. I did, I believe, one video only on my channel. I do want to dig into this more for my channel and just in personal use. I loved it. I know a lot of people thought that it was not going to work on a deeper complexion, and maybe people didn't like how it looked on my complexion, but I enjoy this palette and I would like to get some more use out of it. I would love to get another palette from Lime Crime, but nothing else has really spoken to me. Next is a palette from a brand I don't think many people have given credit or even taken the time to consider, and it is from I Slay Cosmetics, and it is called the Slayer palette. I love this palette. The pigmentation, the blendability from this palette alone was just impeccable. I really want to dig into this more. I still haven't really dug into it this year, but I've been really mainly focusing on my Project Pan palettes and getting more use out of my other palettes. So that is why, but I would truly love to get more use out of this baby and purchase more from this brand. I really enjoyed the formula from this palette. Next is from Menagerie Cosmetics, and this is my Whale Song palette. I love this palette. This is definitely my favorite palette to date right now from them. I've gotten so many different looks from this palette, and I loved every one, that I would highly recommend this palette. I love their formula. I love the other 2 palettes that I have, but just this color scheme was just my favorite. So there you go. Next is from a brand I never thought would be on a list like this from me, and it is from Huda Beauty. It is her new nude palette. I love this palette. If I want any like romantic-y colors, or if I'm doing a look for a friend for like their wedding, I've done a wedding, if I'm doing another graduation, I will pull for this palette, and it's really, really useful. I love it. So yeah, that is my top palette from Huda Beauty. Next is my top palette from Colored Rain, and it has to be my Queen of Hearts palette. This is the reason why I don't bring any more like maroony type colors into my collection. As soon as I finish my panning for my Modern Renaissance, this is going to be the only palette that I have in my collection with this color scheme. I think this is the best formula for this color scheme, and I'm so happy that I have it, and I would love to get more use out of this palette, and I can't wait till I start doing that. Next is a palette that I'm still in love with after my 3 looks, and it is my Nomad Cosmetics Harajuku palette. I love this palette. I think this palette is super unique and super interesting for my collection, and I can't wait to get some more palettes from this brand and to put in some more work on this palette. This is going to be definitely one of those first palettes that I reach for more when I'm done with this hiatus when it comes to makeup. Next is my top palette from Blush Tribe, and it is definitely the Paulina Blush Tribe palette. I love this palette. This definitely is like a beautiful color scheme. It is all up my alley. The pigmentation from this palette is impeccable, and some of the Blush Tribe palettes aren't all there. Some shades are, some shades aren't. This palette is all the shades are good. So I would highly recommend this palette, and I believe it is still in stock in case you are wondering. Next is from another indie brand, of course, and it is from Lick and Lash Beauty, and it is their Playful Eyeshadow palette. I love this palette. I have had to stop myself from reaching for this palette to remember to use other palettes. I love this one. This is like how I feel about how other people feel about the Be Perfect Stacey Marie palette. I feel about this palette. I love this palette, and I can't wait to get the second one in their line from this kind of range, so I cannot wait. Next and final are my 2 most expensive products in this list, and the first one is going to be my Big Daddy Pat McGrath palette. This is the Subversive 3. I love this palette, not only for the special shades on the end, but just the color scheme. Her mattes are beautiful. I would love an all matte palette from her, as well as an all like special shade. I think this would be one of those, like, I don't tend to get a lot of all matte or all shimmer, but if Pat came out of it, if Pat came out with it, I would get it. I know she did the one last Christmas, but I didn't end up getting, I wasn't able to purchase it. I just didn't have the money. So I would love to get more palettes from Pat, and also use, of course, my palettes that I already have from her. So definitely love that palette. And then the last palette that I want to talk about is my Natasha Denona 28 Pan Blue Purple palette. I love this palette. The only critique I have for this particular palette is there's not enough mattes, but the shimmers honestly make up for them. It's a beautiful, beautiful palette. I love it. I love it so much. And it's made me want to get more Natasha Denona palettes, but I can't afford it. I can't afford it. So yeah, those are my 20 items from 20 brands in under 20 minutes. I hope I was able to make it under 20 minutes. If not, we're going to edit it so I can make it under 20 minutes. Let me know your 20 items, or just any items from any brands that I didn't talk about that you think I should definitely check out. Let me know down below in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, y'all, it has been real. Peace.